This is your First Alert Weather Breakdown, a deep dive into how weather works with meteorologist CJ Cartledge.
And good morning, everyone. I'm First Alert Meteorologist CJ Cartledge here, back on the KSLA First Alert Weather Breakdown for today. And yes, if you are joining here on the KSLA First Alert Weather app or on YouTube, or if you got that notification on your phone, yes, today is indeed weather Trivia Day. We're going to be talking about different topics here on these. So these questions are pretty much going to be random. So any knowledge that you know on weather will be getting tested for today in today's episode. And soon after the weather trivia questions that I'll be asking for today, we will be diving into the local forecast, talking about the warm-up this week, and we're going to be talking about the cool down that we could see coming right after the warm-up as we head into this weekend, and that's associated with our next weather maker. I hope you guys are having a great start to the day here. I know it's been foggy out there, so please continue to drive safely in through that fog because it has been pretty stagnant and stubborn, and it has not gone away just yet. It's still around the Arklatex, at least around Shreveport and Bossier through the many cameras that I've been seeing here around Shreveport and Bossier, and it's also around the area, around areas near Texarkana as of right now. But right now we're going to be diving into the first couple of questions, or the first question here on the trivia questions that we're going to be doing for today. Once again, I'm live on Facebook as well as on YouTube. So if you have any answers to the questions that I'm about to be asking here, be sure to leave them down in the Facebook comments or in the YouTube comments here. We're going to be diving into the first question as of right now here. So let's dive into the first question. What two ingredients are needed for a rainbow to form here? So we're thinking about the two things that are needed to form rainbows, and most of you guys may be brainstorming, when do rainbows form? Rainbows form usually after a thunderstorm. So what two very important things are needed for rainbows to form here? Here are the answer choices that you have to choose from here that one of them is the correct answer, obviously, here. So I'm gonna be giving you, a couple of seconds. I would say around 10 to 15 seconds just to think of your answer for this question. And I'm also gonna be looking into the comments and seeing what you guys say here before I give you the right answer here in just a second here. So I'm gonna give you guys around 15 seconds to think about it, and then we're gonna be diving into the correct answer in just a little bit. So I'm gonna give you guys around 10 to 15 seconds to think. Ready, set, go. All right, so diving into the right answer, what two ingredients are needed for a rainbow to form here? The correct answer is water and sunshine. Water and nitrogen is not the right answer, mainly because you actually need sunshine for it to form. It basically, when a thunderstorm passes here, the sunshine comes back out, obviously. And when the sunshine comes back out, it shines on the water particles or the clouds that are moving away from the region that you are in here. When the sun shines on the water particles, it starts to, reflect back. And it reflects back different colors, and the colors of the rainbow that you may see, which are the normal colors. I believe it's red, blue, green, orange, yellow. If I'm going across the color table, I think it's red, yellow, orange, blue, green, purple, if I'm not mistaken there. If I'm not mistaken, if I'm wrong, please let me know in the comments there. But yes, the correct answer to this question is water and sunshine are two necessary ingredients for rainbows to form here. Moving on to the next question here. This is going back to, local, not more of a general question, but this is more local here. What was Shreveport's highest temperature all time for the month of December? So we're thinking of this month alone in terms of all years in history. What was Shreveport's highest temperature all time? The highest temperature that Shreveport has ever hit in the month of December here. So here are the answer choices. You have 84 degrees, you have 85 degrees, 88 degrees, or 89 degrees. And may I say, I am from Maryland. I'm from Southern Maryland, and I don't believe I've ever seen a temperature as high as these answer choices here in the month of December. It's just not common. It doesn't seem right. But obviously, we're in the South, so we have to, get used to this. So I definitely gotten used to it by now, but temperatures are going to reach nowhere near these levels here, at least, or if you were wondering at all, through the next 7 days to 8 days, 12 days, and not expected throughout this month of December here. So here are the answer choices as you see on the screen: 84, 85, 88, or 89 degrees. I'm going to give you guys a couple of seconds just to think about this answer, and I will be back in around 10 to 15 seconds. All right. Are you guys ready for the correct answer? What was Shreveport's highest temperature all time for the month of December? Is it 84? Is it 88? Is it 85? Or is it 89 degrees? And the correct answer is 84 degrees. And believe it or not, this temperature was reached 4 different times in different years here. I believe the most recent one was 2005, was the last time that this record was reached. And yes, it is 84 degrees. We have not reached any more than 84 degrees in the month of December. As we go through the rest of the winter months, this daily, or this record high for each month starts to decrease a little bit here. So I believe January is a little bit lower, and I believe February is a little bit lower, if not higher here. I will have to research a little bit more on that. But here's a look at the last question. Or this is not the last question, by the way. We still have a bonus question left, but most of you should be able to get this, or most of you may get this here. What is question number 3? What is another name for the light show known as Aurora Borealis? Here are the choices that you have here on the screen. Is it called a meteor shower? Is it called the Arctic Light Show? Is it called the Lights of the North? Or is it called the Northern Lights? What is it most known, or most popularly known as, which is another name for Aurora Borealis? Let me give you guys a couple of seconds to think about this here. I'm gonna give you around 15 seconds to think about this, and I will be back in around 15 seconds. All right, so I've just came back here to give you guys a little bit of time to think about this question here. Most of you guys should be able to get this, and I don't see anybody saying anything in the comments. I believe the people maybe are just a little bit behind on the stream as compared to when I'm talking here, but yeah, so we're going to dive into the latest details. I see people commenting here in the YouTube stream, so that's definitely a good sign here. Somebody got a correct answer on the last one. I believe they said it was 84 degrees. So good job on that. And people on the Facebook stream also got a right answer on the last one. Water and sunshine was the answer to the first question. But the answer to this question here is, drum roll please, it's the Northern Lights here. The Northern Lights is another name for Aurora Borealis, and we have seen it I believe once or twice here in Shreveport, Bossier. I remember about a month ago, we were able to see it in Bossier City. Not so much in the Shreveport area, mainly because of all the lights going on in the. But if you were away from the lights, or if you were away from the city lights, you will definitely be able to see it the best here. But yes, the correct term for another name, or a nickname for the Aurora Borealis, is the Northern Lights. So going into the bonus question here, this is the last question, I promise you, of this trivia episode for today. So in the Northern Hemisphere, tornadoes usually spin which direction? Is it clockwise, or is it counterclockwise? Now, in the Northern Hemisphere, usually we have systems that move from west to east, and this circulation is the same and for most systems in the northern hemisphere, and they're the same in the southern hemisphere, but they vary in this northern hemisphere. So the storm systems in the northern hemisphere spin one way, and in the southern hemisphere they spin another way. So the question I'm asking here is which way does tornadoes, or which way do tornadoes usually spin in the northern hemisphere here? So I'm gonna give you guys a couple of seconds to think about this question here, and I will dive into the correct answer in just around 15 seconds. All right, diving into the correct answer to this question. In the northern hemisphere, tornadoes usually spin in which direction? They spin counterclockwise. That is the usual spin for most low pressure systems in the northern hemisphere. And a tidbit that you may or may not know, in the southern hemisphere, all systems, tornadoes, hurricanes, they spin clockwise. So they spin the normal way, that a ticker spins on a clock. So they spin clockwise in the southern hemisphere, and they spin counterclockwise. The storms do in the northern hemisphere. But there are very rare cases where tornadoes can spin clockwise, and they're usually weaker than the counterclockwise systems. But most systems usually spin counterclockwise. So that is all that I have for today's trivia episode. Thank you, or not all for the episode, excuse me. We'll still dive into the local forecast in just a couple minutes, but that's all for the Facebook stream. We're going to be ending the Facebook stream right here. And thank you so much for tuning in and playing on today's trivia episode. We're possibly going to be back next week. I believe we have a normal schedule for the meteorologist next week. So if we have the normal schedule, we'll be back next week with another trivia episode. And thank you guys so much for tuning in and playing for today. We're diving into the local forecast in just a couple minutes. But for now, we're going into a 2-minute break, and I'll be back right on the other side of this 2-minute break. And good morning, everyone, and welcome back. Here's a live look outside through our KSLA Tower camera, sponsored by Mattress Plus. And as you can see from if you looked at this camera during the morning show compared to now, the fog is starting to clear out there around the at least around the Shreveport and Bossier area. We can start to see more of the buildings in the background here, but there's still some very low cloud cover and or fog in the downtown Shreveport area. And as you can see with this next camera I'm about to show, it shows it very well. But it does show that some areas are some of the clouds are starting to lift here. Some of the fog is starting to lift here. But there's still a whole bunch of fog around the Arklatex as of right now here across the region. So that is why we're under a dense fog advisory. And that lasts until 11 a.m. today. So for the next 15 minutes or so, and we should see this fog continue to, disperse and or lift as we move through the next few hours ahead. We're expecting sunny skies across the area as we move into our afternoon for today. Here's a look at live First Alert Doppler radar, and it shows that these foggy conditions have been coming out of the south throughout the morning hours for today, but it is starting to lift from the surface and start to lift up so more and more into the sky here around the Arklatex. Here's a look at visibility across the region right now. It has increased, so that is definitely a good sign. For most of the morning, we've been seeing zeros and ones all across the board. Some areas that down in the far southeastern portions of the Arklatex and near Longview have been seeing nearly perfect visibility at 10 miles, but most of the Arklatex have been seeing either 1 mile or 0 miles or 2 miles at the most here. We're seeing 4 mile visibility near Magnolia, 2 mile visibility near Texarkana, still 1 by Shreveport, 3 mile visibility near Center, and 3 mile visibility near DeQueen as of right now. Now looking at wind speed and direction, the winds are starting to pick up a little bit, and that is aiding the dispersion of this fog that is around the Arklatex. It's helping the fog disperse a little bit, allowing for mostly sunny skies to finally show itself as we move towards the afternoon hours for today. Here's a look at temperatures right now across the area. 41 by Shreveport, 41 also near Bienville, 38 for Mansfield. This is as of right now, by the way. 40 near Mount Pleasant and Longview. Still pretty chilly out there across the region. Definitely hope you guys are wearing your layers as you walked out the door. If you haven't walked out the door already, please wear your layers before you do. 36 by Center, and 43 looking to be the warmest around the region right now near Nacogdoches. And we're dealing with a bit of some cooler feels-like temperatures right now, so it feels cooler than it actually is as of right now across the region. And highs for today are expected to reach the mid and upper 50s here, so we've got some quite a bit of some ways to go as we move towards the rest of the daytime hours here. And temperatures are supposed to be well into the 40s across the region as of right now. But due to the fog and due to the mostly cloudy skies here, or mostly cloudy skies that are mostly cloudy, the clouds are at the surface right now is what I'm trying to say. But we are expecting those clouds to lift into the sky, disperse and allow for temperatures to reach well into the mid and upper 50s, some even lower 60s by this afternoon here. Here's a look at the forecast through today. Tomorrow, southerly winds start in the morning, turning into northerly winds as we move towards the afternoon. That's going to be associated with our next slight cool down as we move into our Thursday, and the effects of that cool down will be shown on Thursday here. And temperatures are expected to rise into the lower to mid 60s, some of us into the upper 60s out there, maybe 1 or 2 areas with mostly clear skies across the board here for the afternoon for the most part. We're expecting maybe a cloud or 2 in the morning, mostly clear skies heading through the afternoon, which will allow for our temperatures to rise well into the 60s, as mentioned before. 69 by Nacogdoches, 68 for Center and St. Augustine, 67 by Coshada, Mansfield, Manny, around 66 degrees for Shreveport, 64 by Minden, Homer, and Ruston. Here's a look at the forecast highs as compared to the average highs. We are expecting warm conditions around the Arklatex, especially by Wednesday and Thursday, and even warmer than that by Friday as temperatures reach nearly 10 degrees above the average for this time of year. Here's why everything is going on the way it is here. We're expecting this high pressure system to continue to sit east of the Arklatex. It has moved east through the night tonight and into the daytime hours, and currently sits the center of this high pressure system currently sits near the western Tennessee, northern Mississippi, and northeastern Arkansas, that is. We are expecting a low pressure system to develop and bring some heavy precipitation, winter precipitation, that is, to those in the far northeastern portions of the country near the Great Lakes region. But it does bring a slight cool down for us as we head into our Thursday. So it will be a pretty powerful low pressure system and a cold front for some, but not so much for us here in the Arklatex. But this high pressure system will be powerful for the country once again here, bring us below average conditions once again heading into our weekend, and that's associated with our next weather maker here in the Arklatex. That's expected to arrive by the time we hit this weekend, as mentioned before. Not much rain is expected associated with this low pressure system here, or not a low pressure system, but this band of rain showers that is expected to form along a cold air mass that's expected to interact with a warmer air mass here. That brings about some instability, and along that line of cooler and warmer air will be the rain showers there. But it's expected to bring much cooler air into the Arklatex as we move into our Sunday. Rainfall potential does not show much at all here around the Arklatex through the next 7 days, and it will mostly come from this system, or this band of showers and storms that will be generating as the colder air mass pushes through the warmer air mass and pushes that out of the Arklatex and pushes temperatures back well below the average for this time of year. Here's a look at how temperatures will fall as we move into our Sunday. Saturday, we're expecting slight rain chances across the area, but by Sunday, we could still see slight rain chances, but temperatures drop from the mid and upper 60s and lower 70s into the 40s out there across the region, and we should see temperatures drop even lower as we move into Sunday night and into our Monday. Here's a look at our full 7-day forecast across the board here. We are dealing with drier than average conditions through the rest of this work week. And we could possibly see some foggy conditions as we move into early tomorrow morning as well. But temperatures will reach their way into the near normal range, which is around the lower 60s and mid and upper 50s. But we should see the above average temperatures arrive heading towards our Wednesday during the daytime hours on our afternoon, and staying in the Arklatex until we hit this next weather maker when this rolls through the Arklatex. We could see the lower 70s across many areas around the Arklatex by our Friday coming up. And as we move into our Sunday, temperatures drop from the 60s into the 40s, and temperatures may not move much by as comparing Sunday morning and into Sunday afternoon. As you can see, they're identical, 47 degrees throughout the daytime hours. That will more than likely be due to cloud cover and temperatures trying to rise, but they won't be rising by much. Temperatures drop into the 30s once again by early Monday morning. Highs only hit the 50s out there. So this is all we have for your KSLA First Alert Weather Breakdown episode for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the trivia episode, or the trivia part of it, as well as the forecast part of it. Meteorologist Evan Thomason will be back on the KSLA First Alert Weather Breakdown for tomorrow and through the rest of the week. So you guys will not be seeing me until next week, potentially here. More than likely, you will see me next week. I'll just give you that. But make sure to stay weather aware through the rest of today and through the rest of the week, as our next weather maker is set to arrive on Saturday night and pushing through the Arklatex into Sunday, bring us much cooler air around the Arklatex here, and bringing back the winter feel that, that December brings here. So thank you guys once again for tuning in to the KSLA First Alert Weather Breakdown. I'll be on at KSLA News 12 at noon. Ooh, my tie. Okay, let me fix that right there. I'll be back on KSLA News 12 at noon, and Chief Meteorologist Matt Jones will be on at KSLA News 12 at 4, 5, 6, and 10 p.m. tonight. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Drive carefully in that fog for those that are still dealing with the foggy conditions as of right now. And I will see you later on the shows, and I will see you next week here on the KSLA First Alert Weather Breakdown.